a High Court decision to allow government and petroleum giant Shell permission to appeal a ruling against offshore drilling along the West Coast. The Western Cape High Court recently overturned the Department of Mineral Resources decision to grant Shell permission to drill for oil along a section of the Cape Coast. The Green Connection and Natural Justice say the court bid exposed serious flaws in how environmental and social risks are evaluated for the project. Carlo Peterson has more.
Social and environmental justice activist, the Green Connection and Natural Justice, says despite the appeal being granted, the court's initial ruling affirms environmental justice. These eco-groups want community voices to remain central in decision-making. Green Connection's advocacy officer Lisa McCowler says the case against Shell will set a legal precedent for future drilling projects.
The ruling still remains, the environmental authorization still remains unlawful, and we're happy to see that, those projects will have to be, the EIA process will have to be redone again in a correct manner, whereby also the communities are involved.
Shell is reviewing the court's decision to determine its next steps. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
Palestine's ambassador to South Africa, Hanan Gerard, says the 153 Palestinians who've arrived in South Africa may have been misled by a non-governmental organization that's been sending displaced people to other countries from war-torn Gaza. Some of the travelers landed at the OR Tambo International Airport yesterday on a chartered plane. It's understood that the flight initially departed from an airport in Israel, then went to Kenya before arriving at OR Tambo International Airport. A total of 130 Palestinians have now been admitted to South Africa after border police initially denied them entry for not meeting immigration requirements. Humanitarian group Gift of the Givers has guaranteed accommodation for them while they remain in the country on a 90-day visa-free entry. Jarar explains how NGOs lure people into leaving Gaza.
So they say that what we can do is that we can help you. You pay us money. And some people, I was talking to some of the Palestinian citizens yesterday, the prices even vary. Some people are paying like 3,000 per person. Some families were paying 5,000 US dollars for family only to take them out, to put them in a plane and to secure their landing in one of the countries that is granting waiver of visa requirements for Palestinians.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has met with a group of CEOs who've joined an initiative to clean up Johannesburg. Earlier this year, Ramaphosa criticized Mayor Dada Morero for the failing state of the metro, highlighting bad infrastructure and a lack of adequate water and sanitation facilities. Since then, Ramaphosa has established a presidential working group to enhance service delivery in the city. Speaking in Soweto this morning, Ramaphosa said more people are now involved in boosting the initiative.
So I'm happy with the work that is being done. There are only 7 days to go before the G20 Leaders Summit, and I'll be going now to where the summit is going to take place to go and see the level of preparedness. But so far, so good.
And more horrifying accounts are emerging from the war in Sudan. Survivors of the bloody takeover of Al Fasher say they've walked for days through the desert past bodies and armed men who humiliated them, desperate to escape the Sudanese city now overrun by paramilitary forces rather. They've described scenes of terror as nearly 100,000 people fled the last army stronghold in western Darfur after its fall to Sudan's rapid support forces in late October. Over more than 2.5 years, the war between the RSF and Sudan's army has killed tens of thousands of people, displaced nearly 12 million, creating what the UN calls the world's worst humanitarian crisis. Talks of a humanitarian truce remain stalled as both sides consolidate their territorial control and political legitimacy. Director General of the International Organization for Migration, Amy Pope, has called for an international corridor.
Yeah, we've seen about 90,000 people who have fled the city. We know that most of them are still located somewhere in the state, but at least 90,000 have been displaced, and many of those people who had been displaced previously during the last 18 months.
Gold is trading at $4,169.25 an ounce. The rand's at 17.09 to the dollar, 22.49 to the pound, and 19.87 to the euro. Brent crude oil's at $69.01 a barrel.
Well, at this stage, if you're traveling towards Four Ways, leaving Bryanston, there's slow-moving traffic N1 southbound between Rivonia Road and Winnie Mandela Drive. Also, we still have those roadworks in the Calvin Alex area on the N3. This is affecting traffic in both directions. between London Road and the Patlu interchange, and in the mother city there's slow-moving traffic. M5 northbound between Berkeley and the N1.
It's a cloudy Friday in Gauteng with isolated afternoon thunder showers expected. The temperatures peaking at highs of between 25 and 27. In Cape Town, it's fine with a fresh to a strong southeasterly and highs of 26. The top story in EWN this hour, the DA in Gauteng says it's lobbied most political parties in the provincial legislature to support its motion of no confidence against Premier Panyaza Lesufi.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app. You're with Mandy Wiener on 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 and Cape Talk is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. Think bigger, think Nedbank Commercial Banking. On the show today, President Ramaphosa joins the cleanup in Soweto. Gauteng Premier faces a vote of no confidence. The Western Cape Premier will speak to us about the SAPS gang infiltration report. There are weather warnings for parts of South Africa, and it's a Friday, so sports and good things too. All of that over the next hour.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app, DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Report on 702 and Cape Talk with me, Mandy Wiener. Good to be with you today. First day of the test between the Proteas and India. Not going very well for us. We're all out for 159 at Eden Gardens. India 22-1 currently. We'll keep watching that for you and give you the score. Wouldn't it be amazing to go watch a cricket test at Eden Gardens? That's definitely on my bucket list. There is lots of things happening today. Of course, the Madlanga inquiry underway. There's been developments there. The Gauteng Premier is facing a vote of no confidence, so we'll hear from various political parties on that. Do you think that Panyaza Lesufi has delivered on his promise over the past year? And do you think that there should be a vote of no confidence in him? Send me a WhatsApp voice note, 072 702 1702, 072 567 1567. We are all gearing up for the G20 and the B20, of course. We are putting a fresh lick of paint on the city of Joburg. Someone said to me that the Queen used to think that the world smelt like fresh paint. And I feel like that's what's happening in Joburg at the moment. They were literally painting the lines on Santon Drive yesterday. Well, President Ramaphosa has been in Soweto today. He has been with the Joburg Mayor, Dada Morero, and a whole lot of different CEOs. He was literally wearing a green municipal jacket as they were part of that cleanup in Soweto today, and he signed a pledge as well, saying he would commit to keeping his city clean. Jabulile Mbata, EWN reporter, is in Soweto for us. Jabulile, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for your time. You're at the CEO City Cleanup Program in Kliptown in Soweto. Tell us about what's been happening there.
Good afternoon, Mandy. I'm glad you actually acknowledged what he was dressed in. We were expecting that he would go into, Kliptown and actually pick up or clean up the city. However, his visit was quite short and it was limited to the Walter Sisulu Square. So he did a short walkabout, just observing the state of, dilapidation of the Walter Sisulu Square, obviously mentioning that it is something that also needs to be prioritized as it is a historical site. He went also to plant a tree with Joburg Mayor Dada Morero, and then afterwards briefed the media, basically just acknowledging the work that the city of Joburg has been conducting in terms of, preparing for the G20 and cleaning up the city. Can we just take a listen to what his reaction is to the work that has been done so far?
A great deal of work is now happening to restore Johannesburg to its former glory. And this is not the first time we've done this, to pick up a city and reposition it. We did this with Durban, and Durban is looking much, much better than it was a few years ago. And it was due to the presidential working group that I set up, and that is now working. And we will we will do that with other metros as well, because a great deal of work needs to be done to improve service delivery, to make our cities investable, to make them friendlier for business and conducive for business to come and invest. So I'm happy with the work that is being done. There are only 7 days to go before the G20 Leaders Summit, and I'll be going now to where the summit is going to take place to go and see the level of preparedness. But so far, so good. And I'm glad that work is not only being done in the city precinct, it's being done in the greater Johannesburg area.
Jabulile, the president mentioning there the G20, just a week to go. We are putting a fresh lick of paint on the city, but this actual CEO city cleanup program, is it just about the G20 or is it long term?
So he did mention that, it is important that because South Africa is hosting global leaders, so much work is being done. But he was, very adamant in assuring the public that this work is not limited to the G20 or the presence of the leaders coming to the G20. He says that there is a greater need for sustainable solutions, especially when it comes to cleaning up the city, to make it presentable not only to those who come from outside of South Africa, but also for South Africans. He also mentioned in the clip that, the presidential working group is monitoring service delivery. So that is something that also will be a constant.
Jabulile, thank you very much for that. Jabulile Mbata in Kliptown in Soweto, where the president was earlier today. And I wrote a column, and you can go read it on EWN, that was published yesterday. And my argument is, it's one thing to put lipstick on a pig, and that's literally what's happening, not figuratively, what's happening here, that we are putting a fresh lick of paint. But the real work is happening on the ground. And the real work is from civil society, it's from the private sector, from the presidential working group to fix up the city. And it really is happening by people who feel passionately about the city, who are trying to fix it. And we need government to really come to the party on that, because Joburg, we know the problems of Joburg, the infrastructure collapse, the hijacked buildings, crime, potholes, water and electricity delivery. We can't just be putting lipstick on a pig for the G20.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently.
12:14 on the Midday Report, and a vote of no confidence today in the Gauteng Premier, Panyaza Lesufi. That bid for his ousting filed by the Democratic Alliance 3 weeks ago. The DA wanting Lesufi out of Gauteng's top office due to the recent controversy over the crime prevention wardens, or the Ama Panyaza, and just general lack of service delivery. Alpha Ramashwana, EWN reporter, is following that story for us. Alpha, good afternoon to you. Thanks for your time. Tell us about where we are at the moment with that vote of no confidence.
Good afternoon, Mandy. Members of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature are currently debating the DA's motion of no confidence against Gauteng Premier and co-ANC leader in Gauteng, Panyaza Lesufi. And like you said, the DA argued that Lesufi has been quite careless in the position, particularly referencing the unconstitutional establishment of the Gauteng crime prevention wardens. I mean, Mandy, you remember last month the public protector came out and said that the establishment of that unit was not backed by any legal mandate. And just a few hours before that report by the public protector was released, Lesufi announced the disbandment of the Gauteng crime prevention wardens. But the DA also argues that Lesufi has mishandled Tembisa Hospital tender corruption. They argue that Lesufi should have done something from the onset, and they claim that the Premier has been ignoring the tender irregularities and tender fraud at that hospital in Tembisa. They also accuse him of negligence, accuse him of concealing reports into corruption. So at the moment, they are currently debating the motion of no confidence. But I can tell you, Mandy, that so far it is quite evident and quite clear.
Alpha?
Remove Lesufi from...
Carry on. We lost you for a second, but you're back with us.
I was saying, Mandy, it's quite... It doesn't have the numbers to remove Lesufi from office. I mean, the political parties that are debating the motion today a majority of them actually have said that they are not going to support this motion. This includes political parties in the opposition like the ACDP, Freedom Front Plus as well, and the Build One South Africa. So it does seem like the DA's motion is not going to succeed. But we did ask this question to the party earlier on in the morning to say that you don't have the numbers. Why are you still going to the legislature? Why are you still taking the motion to the legislature? And they say for them it's a matter of principle. They have to show the public that they are doing something about their discontent when it comes to Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi. Let's take a listen to what the EFF had to say today. But what's interesting about the EFF, Mandy, is that they are not. They do agree with the DA that Panyaza has been negligent and careless, but say that they are not going to support their motion because they don't believe that it was tabled at the right time. Let's take a listen to what the EFF had to say.
The youth of this province remain highly unskilled because there exist no programs to equip them with the actual skills that market-related and carry industrial-related value. To this date, this province has not shifted any closer towards energy independence, as we are confidently promised by the Premier in several states of the province address. Madam Speaker, there is no motion sponsored by Stellenbosch, concocted by Donald Trump, that will find expression. We want our land and jobs now.
Yeah, I don't know what Donald Trump has to do with it, but okay. So that debate taking place at the moment. Thanks to Alpha Ramashwana for that in Premier Panyaza Lesufi. We'll speak to the DA after the break, but on the WhatsApp line, Tusi says the vote of no confidence is unwarranted on our hard-working Premier. Tusi from Vosloorus in Ekurhuleni. And then Craig says, Mandy, I believe Panyaza Lesufi should be removed as Premier. His sudden drive to clean up Gauteng ahead of the G20 shows exactly why. Leadership cannot be reactive or cosmetic. We need consistent, accountable governance, not short-term gestures for global optics. His approach has become increasingly populist, and the province deserves a leader who tackles systemic issues with integrity and long-term focus. From Craig in Ekurhuleni. Real growth needs more than just banking, and Nedbank Commercial Banking is your growth partner. Their team of industry experts understand your business and its potential, offering insight to help you see opportunity where others see obstacles. Because when you can see what others don't, you can do what others can't. Think bigger. Think Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently. Nedbank is a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
You want a new car, but prices keep climbing, the timing doesn't feel right, the deals are never good enough. Until now. The Motor Select Demo Deal Dash is back this Friday and Saturday only. Get up to 100,000 Rand trade-in assist on over 1,800 demo models across 26 leading brands, all backed by SA's largest and leading dealer network. It's just 2 days. Visit motorselect.co.za to shop our demo range now.
Experience a unique musical journey as the Mzansi National Philharmonic Orchestra presents its national tour, featuring legendary conductor Marin Alsop and homegrown global sensation Abel Selauchwe. The program includes Selauchwe's Four Spirits Cello Concerto, paired with Rachmaninoff's Romantic Symphony No. 2. Concerts take place at the Linda Auditorium on Wednesday the 10th and Thursday the 11th of December. Book your tickets now at Quicket.
The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. Like a businesswoman on the way to the airport after sleeping through her alarm. Bags in the back, boarding pass on the dashboard. She prays she'll make her flight.
Hope I make it.
The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic. It's the potential closing of a big deal. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005. In proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
The Dial-A-Bed Black Friday sale is now on with 20% off absolutely everything. Start Black Friday shopping today and save thousands on all our best brands. 40 Winks, Sealy, Simmons, Dunlopillow, King Coil in all sizes, all less 20% and all ready for fast delivery. Dial-A-Bed. Sleep for life.
Big dreams, small budget? No problem. With Prime Media Credit, your business can be on 947, 702, KFM 94.5 and Cape Talk today and pay later.
flexible finance, maximum impact. Email advertise@primemedia.co.za. Prime Media Credit, powered by Bridgement.
WhatsApp Mandy
on 072 702 1702.
Hi, Mandy and the team. With regards to your question about Panyaza Lesufi, our premier in Gauteng, I think the ANC just have to go. It's over. It's finished. I will be very happy if that motion can pass. So my view on Mr. Panyaza Lesufi is that he really needs to go. We really need somebody who's decisive, somebody who will take actions that will benefit the residents of Gauteng. Thank you, Mandy.
Mandy, President Ramaphosa makes it sound as if everything's improving in Joburg and improved in Durban and so on. But he must first apologize to the nation for the ANC stuffing it up in the first place. They're just trying to get back to where we were. They are far behind. And then watch, when G20 is done, the ball gets dropped. And then there's a little bit of painting and electioneering again before the next local government elections. And then afterwards it gets dropped. The trend has just been one way, and that hasn't been up. It's just been down. Not going to change, just electioneering.
Thank you very much for those WhatsApp voice notes. I asked the question whether you agree that there should be a vote of no confidence in Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi, and a variety of responses coming in. That motion being brought by the Democratic Alliance. Take a listen to the DA's Solly Msimanga about the motion.
There was never a budget, a single cent. There was never a single cent budgeted to make sure that the Mapanyaza is actually then, rolled out. What then they did is that in the middle of a financial year, they started taking money from other departments, social development being one of the hardest hit. The NGOs that were supposed to be getting grants all of a sudden got letters to then say they're not going to be getting their monies. And then the money went to funding the program of the Mapanyaza. The Mapanyaza, some of them were the first recruits that member Bosch and others and myself went to them go and see in Cullinan at the college. They were trained, or so-called trained, under very, very, very inhumane manner. They were put in a place where it was not even conducive for them to be there.
Solly Msimanga speaking about the Panyaza, one of the reasons that the DA says it's brought the motion of no confidence. Well, let's hear now from the ANC's Gauteng spokesperson, Lesego Makubela. Lesego, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for your time. Firstly, what is
good afternoon.
What is the ANC? Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm not the ANC spokesperson. I'm the ANC chief whip in the legislature.
Apologies for that. My mistake. Yeah. So thank you for that correction. Lesego, what is the position of the ANC? I mean, obviously, you're confident that Panyaza Lesufi is doing a good job as Premier.
That's not just the position of the ANC. It's a position of a broad spectrum of parties that are represented in the Gauteng provincial government of unity. This is inclusive of parties such as the MKP, the EFF, Action SA, Rise and Zanzi, BOSA, the IFP, and I might have left others, including the Freedom Front Plus. The DA finds itself alone in this opportunistic motion. And I think that this is derived from their failure to actually even read the report at best.
So do you believe as the ANC then that Panyaza Lesufi and the ANC have been delivering on the mandate in Gauteng? Lesego?
Can you hear me?
There we go. We can hear you now. We lost you for a second.
No, I can hear you.
Go ahead.
I'm saying we believe that it took the Premier together with his executive. They've been doing extremely well in delivering on the provincial mandate, including even intervening where they should not have intervened, where it were challenges of the local sphere of government. I'm talking about when we had issues with transformers in many of our communities, we intervened. You will know that this is not our provincial competency. When we had water challenges in some areas of our province, we intervened. It's not our competency to do so. But on what the DA brought the motion for, which is on Amapanyaza, it was a necessary intervention. If you speak to people who organize events, including people who would have rugby games at Loftus or any part of our province, they will tell you that they have been extra eyes and extra boots on the ground to help work with law enforcement to be able to stop and cap criminal conduct. In fact, the problem has been the legislature itself, because you cannot be able to actually deal with challenges that face South Africa in 2025 while using a 1994 constitution. We call ourselves lawmakers, but we are not updating the laws. We are not actually amending the laws that are there. We are not dealing with new legislation that responds to new challenges. And that's why
the public protector did find that the Amapanyaza were not constituted legally. Are you saying that we need to amend the law on this?
And I'm saying that every member of the legislature is referred to as a lawmaker, and the role of the legislature is to amend laws and to actually enact laws and come up with laws and provincial bills. We have failed in that. What we have done in the past 10 years was to actually deal with money bills, motions, and member statements. We have not come up with laws that respond to the challenges of our province, modern day province. I'll give you a simple example. We've been going to communities where they say there's this person who sells nyaup, it's a drug. This person gets arrested, taken to the police station. When the police station weigh the drugs that they would have taken from the person, because of the law says no, this person does not qualify as a dealer. This person qualifies as a user, and they let this person go because of the weight of what they have. So we have to come up with laws that respond to things like that. You have in our province people, especially legal immigrants, that would go to parts of our province, invade land. Immediately they invade land. What does the law say? The law says when you remove them, you must give them alternative accommodation.
Yes.
That is not correct. You have a situation in our province where you have illegal immigrants that come to actually collect chronic medication. And we can't act against them because the law says that we must also take care of them. The judges, including the public protector and all Chapter 9 institutions, when they make decisions based on the product that must be created in the legislature. And as a result, the legislature, the members, including the party that brought the motion, has failed to bring such things to say, let's come and enact laws, update our constitution so that it then responds to the modern day challenges.
The ANC is the majority, was the majority party for 30 years. The premier is currently an ANC premier. So why is there no responsibility from the ANC then on putting forward that legislation?
Well, the ANC has been very much focused on a lot of reform. I mean, the constitution you have today is not the constitution that we had 30 years ago. The constitution that has been reformed, it's a constitution that has allowed dynamic people like yourself to have a voice in talk radio. It would not have been the case had we still applied the apartheid constitution. While we were busy with transformation, while we were busy with reforming many of the apartheid laws and ensuring that we actually create equality into the house, we neglected some of the dynamic pieces of legislation that were supposed to update. And that is not just the function of the ANC in parliament or in the legislature. It's a function of all parties and members who are represented in those parliament to actually ensure that we refresh the law, that we amend the law, we enact new laws that respond to the challenges.
Sure, I mean it's very difficult to pass a law if you don't have a majority. But back to
no, it's not true. We've yielded and actually listened to reasons when parties other than the ANC would have brought amendments in terms of the constitution, to say, let's look at this part of the constitution. As long as if you bring something that does not actually protect white privilege, that does not actually perpetuate the inequalities of the past, that doesn't actually stand against what we stand for, we will support that person. There's been parties that came with progressive amendments. We've supported them. In terms of lawmaking, it's not about the numbers you have. It's about the weight of the reasons behind why you want to amend the constitution.
I'm over time, but I want to come back to why we're actually talking, which is about the motion of no confidence in Panyaza Lesufi. Are you, as the ANC, confident that he will survive this?
All parties have already spoken, with the exception of the DA, that they'll reject the motion. So he has already survived it.
Lesego, thank you very much. Lesego Makubela from the ANC in Gauteng, speaking to us there about that motion of no confidence in the Gauteng Premier, Panyaza Lesufi. 12:32, time for Eyewitness News headlines.
Thanks, Mandy. Good afternoon. I'm Khomotso Modise. President Cyril Ramaphosa says those who've pulled out of attending the G20 will miss out on the important work of the summit. He says boycott politics never work because the work set out for the meeting will continue in their absence. Ramaphosa was speaking at the CEO City cleanup at the Walter Sisulu Square in Kliptown in Soweto. The economic freedom fighters and the Umkhonto weSizwe have refused to support the DA's motion of no confidence against Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi. Political parties in the provincial legislature are currently debating the no confidence vote. The DA initiated the motion to oust Lesufi, citing issues such as the disbanding of the crime prevention wardens and alleged mismanagement related to the Tembisa Hospital tender corruption scandal. And the Gauteng Health Department is leading a commemorative event in Soweto today to mobilize communities to adopt a healthier lifestyle on World Diabetes Day. World Diabetes Day, observed annually, aims to raise awareness about the chronic illness and other non-communicable diseases. This year's focus is on the challenges faced by workers living with diabetes, including stigma, discrimination, and common misconceptions in the workplace. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 1 or as it happens.
EWN Sport.
A very good afternoon. I'm Tato Muloto. Let's start on the cricket side. The Proteas are live at Eden Garden in day one of their test against India before the innings breaks. Kavesh Maharaj went leg before wicket to Bumrah for a duck. South Africa were then bowled out for 159 all out in their first innings. The pressure is on for the South Africans who want to end the 25-year test series dry spell against India. India are at the crease right now and are trailing South Africa by 128 runs with 9 wickets remaining. As things stand, it is 31-1. Back home, Boerland meet the Dolphins while the Dragons play the Titans in the T20 Challenge this evening. In rugby, big rotations for the Springboks. 11 changes to Rassie Erasmus' starting 15. Skipper Siya Kolisi, Boan Venter, Kurtley Arendse and Damian Willemse are the only 4 players that keep their spots from last week's thriller against France. South Africa will want to continue their unbeaten European tour run when they meet Italy tomorrow. For Boks coach Rassie Erasmus, his only focus is on the pitch and not the noise around him.
Sometimes you listen to that and it's one hell of a praise, then you lose one game and then you're bad again. So the moment you start listening to that, the non-South African people giving comment on that, you kind of live in not in a real reality, in the truth. So we try to stay in the truth.
Staying with rugby, England are against the All Blacks. Wales meet Japan, Ireland against a struggling Australian side, and France face Fiji. Meanwhile, in Gqeberha tomorrow, Bafana have a friendly against Zambia at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. However, for coach Hugo Brosh, this isn't just a friendly, it's a game to see just how prepared his squad is for the upcoming African Cup of Nations.
We have to be prepared on everything, and maybe when you compare with the previous AFCON, we can't focus only on one way of playing. We need to be able to adapt in some situations. And that was something we didn't have in the previous AFCON.
At the Under-17 World Cup, Amajimbos have a knockout clash in the round of 32, this against Japan tomorrow afternoon. Finally, the MotoGP season takes its final bow in Valencia on Sunday. That race is set to start at 3. Tato Muloto, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
Well, at this stage, if you're heading towards the El Dorado Park area, there's roadworks causing heavy delays in the Devland area. That's on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue. There's also slow-moving traffic. That's due to roadworks as well in the Calvin Alex area on the N3 in both directions between London Road and the Bethune Interchange. If you're leaving Brakpan heading towards Benoni, traffic is a bit sluggish. This is on Rangeview Road between Dube and Tom Jones. We also have bumper-to-bumper traffic. That's in the Sharon Lee area on Malibongwe Drive between Pelez and the N1, while in the Mother City, slow-moving traffic on the M5 northbound between Barkley Road and the N1, and there's an accident scene on Langeberg Road. That's between Okavango and Pinehurst Road. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Team, summer is game time in Mzansi. Every tap, scan, swipe, it all adds up. And FNB is giving us big rewards, partner deals, e-bucks, defense tips, and chances to score experiences money can't buy. But you're only in the game if you paid with FNB. So stay sharp, spend clever, and let's dominate. Get in the game with FNB. Help changes everything. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider. NCRCP 20. T's and C's, earn rules and limits apply.
A man driven to the edge. I don't know where you are. I don't know who you're with. When his beloved takeaway was taken away. I will look for you. I will find you. And I will eat you.
It's the summer of stars at Simply Asia. Stand a chance to win a Toyota Starlet when you spend 200 Rand or more on our famous flavors. Order now. Simply Asia, connecting the Thaiway.
You want a new car, but prices keep climbing, the timing doesn't feel right, the deals are never good enough. Until now. The Motor Select Demo Deal Dash is back this Friday and Saturday only. Get up to 100,000 Rand trade-in assist on over 1,800 demo models across 26 leading brands. All backed by SA's largest and leading dealer network. It's just 2 days. Visit motorselect.co.za to shop our demo range now.
In business, credit allows SMEs to better manage their everyday expenses, especially during their busiest times. ABSA gets it. SMEs have been grinding all year round, but with the festive season upon us, it's time to take it up a gear with the ABSA Business Revolve Credit Card. Next Monday from 3 p.m, 702 Drive with John Perlman chats to Pascal Albrecht, Executive for Commercial Issuing Product at ABSA Business Banking. Tune in to get the lowdown with ABSA on 702. ABSA is an authorized FSP and a registered credit provider.
WhatsApp Mandy
on 072-702-1702.
Hi, Mandy. The ANC chief whip. I'm actually quite amused that he can't name anything that they've done. He's busy telling us about the change to the new constitution from the apartheid era. It's like they have to go that far back to reach for something that can say we've achieved something. These guys must just accept there's nothing they have to offer us. He can't even point to one recent achievement. My goodness. Thank you, Tsepo Soweto.
Manny, this chief whip from the ANC, he carries on about 1994 and there not being laws put in place to enable the Amapanyaza type setup. But he forgets lots of laws have been put in place that are racial laws, more than 100. So maybe they should focus on the correct laws, not the wrong laws.
Mandy, how long our leaders will think we are such idiots and they will treat us, they'll give us cliches after cliches after cliche without actually doing any job properly. Our President Ramaphosa say, we will restore Johannesburg to his glory and all this. And he think that if he will be there for 2 minutes, then everybody will adore him and the great effort that is done. Meanwhile, half of the population in Gauteng and Johannesburg especially have no water, no running electricity or something. And it's all the leaders are promising and talking in the glories and fantastic and how wonderful they're leading us, and nothing has been done on the ground. It's chilling.
Thank you very much for those messages coming through on the WhatsApp line. ANC members are no longer blaming the apartheid system for their failures. Now they blame opposition parties for failing to change the laws. A lot of reaction there to the interview that I did with Lesego Makubele, the ANC chief whip in the Gauteng legislature, regarding that motion of no confidence in Panyaza Lesufi.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 and Cape Talk is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently.
From Gauteng to the Western Cape, and the Premier, Alan Winde, has released the much-anticipated Western Cape Police Ombudsman report on gang infiltration of the South African Police Service. There has been mounting pressure from the public and civil society around this document and the release of the document and to make it public. This was the result of an investigation that was initiated after the Western Cape High Court Judge Daniel Tulare raised the alarm in a 2022 ruling. So that report has now been released, and Alan Winde, the Western Cape Premier, joining us now. Premier, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for your time. There was much anticipation around the release of this report. Why did you decide to ultimately make it public?
I mean, I think, first of all, the anticipation was that, and I think it was a misunderstanding of what I'd asked the Ombudsman to do, because I think they thought it was going to have detail about the gangs and the police and the infiltration. But, I mean, the question that I asked our Ombudsman was, this horrific, report that's come out from a bail hearing in a criminal case by Judge Tulare says that there's 28 gang influences at the top table of our police management. And I mean, that is horrendous. So I said, what can I do within the powers of a premier and a province? And really the most powerful thing a premier has is you can put a commission of inquiry in place. But it also advised not to put a commission of inquiry in place because this was a bail hearing in a big case. And, how are you going to get detail out of a case that's not even being heard in court yet? They would have locked that up tight. It was already locked up tight in his own investigation. He couldn't get access to any of the data or the details. So he said, you can't do anything with a commission of inquiry. But what he did say is, I've got power through our cabinet to remove the police commissioner. But that also I didn't think that was really advisable in the middle of an investigation. And, was that the police commissioner at the time responsible, or was it Arno Lemoore, who's actually in jail at the moment, who was the previous police commissioner? So there's a lot of questions there. And we meet regularly with General Patakile, so I didn't have an issue with him. And lastly, it said that there are risks to the investigators, be SAPS investigators or the law enforcement investigators, in bringing to this case to court and arresting 14 gang members because 3 witnesses had been murdered already, and his warning was, please make sure that these investigators are kept safe, and also warned that even in our courts, this case is probably going to need extra security with regard to the prosecutors, judge, etc. So, I mean, that was the real reason why I didn't automatically just say, there it is, into the public domain, because it has names in it. It's a short report, but it has names in it of investigators. Then when the pressure started coming my way, I said, all right, well, let's get it. I'll ask the legal team, are you happy we redact it, take the names out, and let's just make it public. And that's what I did in Parliament yesterday. But then, of course, the real issue is, who must investigate an allegation like that? And it's actually IPID. It's IPID's job. We immediately then engaged with IPID. He also engaged with IPID. It took a year before the IPID team even put their investigation plan together. And then they said, we'll come back in another year. And that's already passed. But we have written to them to say, give us the update on where you are with this investigation. So, I mean, that's the real issue, is who's investigating these allegations.
Yes.
And then the last thing is that I then, after the report saying, well, you don't actually have the power to investigate this, I then spoke to judges, to criminologists at our universities, even to some international crime specialists. And basically out of those discussions, we said, well, the first thing we should do immediately is a lifestyle audit of those senior police officers that are having this allegation against them. That should tell us if there's money changing hands, what are their lifestyle, is it commensurate with their salary, and are they meeting wrong people, etc. I've been trying now with 3 ministers. I think it's about 12 letters and communication follow-ups to say, even the province will pay for the lifestyle report or the lifestyle audits. Let's just get it going. And then one says yes, the next one says no. The next one says, okay, well, maybe then we've just never got it right. And I mean, I think that's a great start, is doing lifestyle audits.
So yesterday, the ANC in the legislature said that the Western Cape government and you yourself and the provincial government should share responsibility for the escalating violence in the Cape and the capture of the police in the Western Cape by the gangs. Is that a fair response from the ANC, or what is your reaction to that?
No, definitely don't think so. I mean, I think that, we've gone beyond our constitutional mandate. When I was elected, I said that we need more policing power because we don't have power over police and we don't have sufficient police. I mean, in the Western Cape in 2019, when I became the Premier, we had 20,000 police officers. Our population has grown. Crime just seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. We now have 13,000 police officers. I think police to population ratio, we probably should have 25,000. We don't have any control of where they are based, where they are. Go and have a look at police to population ratio deployment. It is totally skewed, does not put the police officers where the crime is. That doesn't make any sense. That needs to be police managed. So we want more power. But then what we did do is we then said, okay, within, and I heard this previous discussion on Panyaza Lesufi and their crime fighting operations, which has just been found illegal. What we did was we put money from the province into LEAP officers. We've got 1,200 LEAP officers in the 6 highest crime hotspot areas across the Cape Flats. And in actual fact, in those areas, we have an 11% reduction in crime, in murder, actually, 11% reduction. But, that's what we have done.
Premier, thank you very much. Premier Alan Winde, the Western Cape Premier, speaking to us there about the release of the Police Ombudsman report on gang infiltration.
7:02, the Midday Report, Monday to Friday.
12 to 1 p.m.
We are expecting some severe weather over parts of the country over the weekend. Some warnings from the Weather Service. Andre Fourie is the South African Weather Service forecaster and joins us now. Andre, good afternoon to you. Tell us which areas are of concern and what we need to look out for.
Hi, Mandy. Thanks for having me. So, basically from tomorrow is when we're expecting those adverse weather conditions. So, from tomorrow, it's basically the central interior of the country spreading to KZN. We have some scattered to widespread showers and thunder showers, and then we also have quite a big area that we are going for some severe thunderstorms warnings, which range from yellow level 2, yellow level 4, and orange level 5. So for the orange level 5 is where we are expecting some significant impacts, and then we are expecting the system to move further eastward and then to affect the eastern parts of the country on Sunday, where we also currently are going again for a larger area of a yellow level 2 warning, and then again an orange level 5 warning that will spread over the Highveld of Mpumalanga, Gauteng, as well as the eastern parts of the northwest.
Andre, thank you so much for that quick update there. Andre Fourie, SA Weather Service forecaster, about what to expect across the country this weekend.
Access to the internet is vital for any country to grow. That's why the recent 6.75 billion rand digital infrastructure deal that Standard Bank Corporate and Investment Banking facilitated between Telkom and an Actors-led consortium is so transformational for South Africa. It unlocks growth and provides internet access to underserved communities who will now have access to the internet for the very first time. Search CIB Stories of Impact to watch the full story.
Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Did you know that all residential complexes are legally required to register with the Community Scheme Ombud Service, or CSOS? Registration is easy and it's free. All registered schemes can access a quick and affordable alternative dispute resolution body and can also learn more about the rights and responsibilities of people living within a community scheme. We'd like to appeal to all unregistered community schemes to register with the CSOS today. Visit csos.org.za to find out more.
You want a new car, but prices keep climbing, the timing doesn't feel right, the deals are never good enough. Until now. The Motor Select Demo Deal Dash is back this Friday and Saturday only. Get up to 100,000 Rand trade-in assist on over 1,800 demo models across 26 leading brands, all backed by SA's largest and leading dealer network. It's just 2 days. Visit motorselect.co.za to shop our demo range now.
The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. Like the lady on her way to work, listening to a love song on the radio. She's recreating the music video in her mind with herself as the leading lady. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's a concert on the move. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Sports Wrap.
Sports Wrap
On 702 and Cape Talk.
Tato Moloto joining us in studio to have a look at the sport this weekend. Well, actually, at the moment, the Proteas are not a great first inning against India at Eden Gardens.
Happy Friday, Mandy. Look, 159 all out in the first innings. Not very great, but then again, we are talking about the same Protea side that hasn't won a test series against India in the past 25 years. A test match.
But they are test world champions.
They are test world champions, and I can agree on that, but India are definitely not going to make it easy for them. Also, they are going in here without the Kagiso Rabada, who got that rib injury during training. As things stand right now, India trails South Africa by 127 runs, 32 for 1. So we'll have to see how this plays out. But I'm not going to lie, Mandy, I think India are in control of the game.
Well, I think you're probably right there. Bafana got a friendly against Zambia tomorrow, right?
That is right. Look, it is a friendly according to, I guess, the game, but it is a big game because it is the test of how prepared we are for the upcoming African Cup of Nations, which takes place in 5 weeks. But most importantly, Mandy, it is a test for Coach Hugo Brosh to see here whether this is the same squad he will take to the 2026 World Cup. And I always am so excited to say this because it's the first time in my broadcasting career that I get to say that Bafana have qualified for a World Cup. So this will be telling day in Gqeberha tomorrow, and I'm excited to see what they come out with. But as a biased Kaizer Chiefs fan, I do wish Mduduzi Shabalala was in that squad just to see what he could do after that 4-1 win over Orbit for Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah, KG agrees with you. Yeah, there's a yep from KG over there. Dude, I can't believe that Cristiano Ronaldo is playing another World Cup.
I mean, 41. Look, I'm very surprised
42,
that he's there.
in case you were wondering. There's no ways that I could play a World Cup right now.
He is done though. He says this will be his last World Cup. After this, he's done, no more. He says he still feels sharp and very quick on his feet. Look, Mandy, I also feel very sharp and quick on my feet after a Red Bull, but I'm not leading Bafana anyway. However, he really wants this because he does not want to end.
He just wants to win. He wants to win a World
Cup. He's never won it.
Shame. And then the Springboks against Italy, a whole new lineup pretty much.
11 changes for Coach Rassie Erasmus. He's literally went master chef on us there, rewriting almost an entire recipe. But what this is, Mandy, is what probably the Springbok lineup will look like in the next 10 to 15 years, trying to bring in that new blood. So it's literally a look into the future, whether we'll be just as strong. But Captain Siya Kolisi, Bowen Venter, Kurtley Arendse, and Damian Willemse retain their spots.
Tato, thank you so much. Tato Moloto, EWN sports reporter.
When you have multiple passions and private accounts, seamless banking can feel elusive. At Investec, we take care of your financial needs by considering all your life's moving parts. If you earn 800,000 Rand per annum or more, you may qualify for Investec Private Banking, where you'll enjoy effortless digital capabilities backed by real people who understand you. We'll even switch your account for you. Now that's private banking.
Investec is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. Investec, out of the ordinary.
There's something magical about booking your next getaway. Whether you're flying for business or leisure, Airlink is ready to take you there in premium comfort. With over 45 destinations in 15 African countries, Airlink connects you throughout Southern Africa and beyond. No middle seats, just wider window or aisle seating. And yes, free luggage, snacks and beverages are still our thing. Plus, our Skybucks frequent fly program rewards you every time you fly. Book on flyairlink.com or your travel agent. Fly Airlink, the freedom of the African sky.
Brush, stroke, paint, color, protect, and admire. From roof paint to exterior textures and interior silk, Warrior Paints has it all. The product range and stylish colors are amazing. And what's more, Warrior Paints has crushed prices for incredible savings. Enjoy that good old-fashioned personal service you deserve. For price, quality, variety, and service, Warrior Paints is street ahead. Warrior Paints, affordable, lasting, luxury.
For 3 consecutive years, Nedbank has been recognized as the best investment bank in South Africa at the Global Banking and Finance Review Awards. Whether helping clients navigate cross-border risks or building financing frameworks that support market reform, Nedbank is a partner in more than just capital. We're part of the architecture supporting Africa's renewable energy future. See money differently. Nedbank. Nedbank is a licensed FSP and registered credit provider.
Good things.
Good things.
With Brent Lindecky.
Good things with Brent Lindecky to wind up your week for you. Brent Lindecky, the Good Things guy, brought to you by Bonitas, medical aid for South Africa. Brent, happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Mans, and happy Friday to all of the Cape Talk and 702 listeners.
Hey, I noticed you changed your social media avatar. What do you call them? Icon thingies.
Your profile, my profile
thing,
picture,
your profile picture. To purple.
So I've joined the movement that many South Africans have joined, changing their profile pictures on various platforms, whether it's WhatsApp or Instagram or Twitter, to purple. It was an initiative that was started by the group Women for Change, and it's all about getting a voice against GBV in this country. I did it because I want to support anybody that's been impacted by GBV, but also because it's a fantastic movement. They started a petition which last night hit over 1 million signatures of people that are joining their voices in this cause. And I just think the power of unity, that extraordinary unity, is something that we can really celebrate, of women and men and everybody coming together against GBV in this country.
And important for men to be standing up as well, like you.
Absolutely, man. The problem starts with men, so we should be part of the solution.
Tell us about the car guard who became someone's hero after she lost her car keys.
So I love this story because we've got car guards all around the country that look after our cars. And Josie is this car guard's name, has the biggest smile I've ever seen. So the charity One Small Act of Kindness, the founder Kelly Ann van der Meer, she was having a pretty chaotic day. She ran into the shops, and while she was in the shops, she realized that she didn't have her car keys. And she sort of backtracked to sort of try and find out where they were, and she just couldn't. She didn't know where she'd placed them. She had no idea. So she ran out to the parking lot in a bit of a panic, and Josie, this incredibly friendly car guard, he saw her, he walked up to her, he sort of gave her a bunch of questions. What do the keys look like? What keychains did they have on them? And they figured out that it was hers, so he gave it back to her, and she took a photo of him, put it up onto social media, and that post has been going viral. And I think it's because of his smile.
I was about to say, he's got the best smile. Best smile.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then tell us about the veggie vendors that were saved by kind strangers.
So the veggie vendors, they call themselves the Veggie Boys, and they're well known in the Somerset Western Strand areas for their fruit and vegetables that they sell. They shredded a tire on the N2, and a stranger whose name is Nuzad Pale immediately pulled over. He warned them about the dangers of being in the area, and then he escorted them to a tire shop to assist them. The tire shop team helped them. They replaced the damaged shredded tire, and when the vendors tried to pay him, the shop owner refused, saying it was their duty to help strangers in distress. It's just such a beautiful story of South Africans helping South Africans, and it's that Ubuntu. It's that thing that I love to talk about.
Well, Brenty, as always, thank you so much for wrapping up the week for us.
As always, as I say every single Friday, wishing you only good things.
Only good things. Brent Lindecky, the Good Things guy. Get the care you need when you need it with Bonitas. The medical aid for South Africa with strong reserves and financial performance. Bonitas can afford to pay your claims and was voted the #1 medical aid in the Ask Africa Orange Index. Choose from a range of plans tailored to meet your needs. Visit bonitas.co.za and find your plan. T's and C's apply.
702, the Midday Report, Monday to Friday.
12 to 1 p.m.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. There's an ANC NEC meeting this weekend. Of course, beware of the road closures in Joburg because of the prep for the G20. So just stay at home. The weather's going to be awful anyway. And good luck to Bafana, good luck to the Springboks, good luck to the Proteas, good luck to any other national team that's playing. The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 and Cape Talk is brought to you by Nedbank Nedbank Commercial Banking. Think bigger. Think Nedbank Commercial Banking. It's 1 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Deadly shooting in KZN claims 2 lives, and President Cyril Ramaphosa says those not attending the G20 summit will miss out.